Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to create a card using small stamps and these 5 colours. So I've got Watermelon Wonder, Island Indigo, Basic Grey, Crushed Curry and Mint Macaron. I've got an Island Indigo card base with a Basic Grey layer and my Whisper White piece on the top. The stamp set I'm using today is Endless Thanks. I absolutely love this stamp set. It is photopolymer, so I'm going to use my Stampin' PS mat just to make sure that I get good, crisp, clean images. So I'm going to stamp that thank you on my Whisper White layer and a piece of sticky note. This is one of those sticky notes, that has the sticky all the way across it. I love these, and I've got my, I think it's a 1 3/8 inch circle punch, which fits just wonderfully. And that creates a mask for my sentiment. The reason I stamp onto the post-it is so that I can make sure that sentiment fits into the mask that I'm going to create. So I'm going to pop that mask over my sentiment, approximately where the stamping already is. And then I'm going to use, I changed my mind halfway through doing this, because my initial plan was to create an entire background using small stamps, and then I thought, no, I don't really want that, so I'm going to use my ruler to draw a diagonal line. Put my teeth back in, I can't speak this morning. So I'm going to put my diagonal line on my card and use that to line up another piece of sticky note, a long sticky note. This is actually sticky note tape, to create another mask. So underneath sort of the bottom half of my card, I'm going to create a background, and the top half is going to be beautiful white space. So I've got the largest flower from Endless Thanks, and I'm stamping this in Watermelon Wonder, making sure that I touch the masked edges and the edges of my cardstock, so that this is going off the edges of my card, and helps to define that line that I've masked off. So I've got a few of those. And I've got the smaller flower, and I'm using crushed curry here, and I'm just filling in some of the gaps. So when using small stamps to create a background, I always put my largest stamps in first, and then I fill in the gaps with smaller stamps. And you'll see that I do go back and I use a slightly larger stamp after, but I use it in a toned down colour that I don't mind if it overlaps other things. So here I've got mint macaron, and I've got the leaves. This is what I mean. It's a bigger stamp, and I am going to add some leaves in. But it's a toned down colour, so I don't mind if it overlaps, and I don't mind if it doesn't fit in some areas. And I will use another piece of masking tape just to protect some flowers, to add the leaves exactly where I want them. So there, if I'd used the whole stamp, it was too long, it was too much. So I've got another piece of sticky tape, and I'm just going to mask off that flower so I can put just a little bit of leaf on. And I'm going to do that again further up. And you can see that I'm filling in the white areas in the kind of part of the card that I am creating, basically on my own designer series paper. You could do exactly the same thing with a piece of designer series paper and it would look beautiful. So this is the very smallest stamp in this set. This is supposed to be a leaf, and I know you don't get many Island Indigo coloured leaves, I get that, but I'm using artistic license here. It's a card, it's not realistic. I am using colour combination, and I think this colour combination is absolutely awesome. I love this. I'm really, really pleased with this card actually. And I'm just making sure that there's all of the colours spread evenly across the area that I've stamped. So I am trying to fit that leaf in just to make sure that there's an even spread. And I don't mind that there's little patches of white on, that's fine. I could have stamped a little bit more probably, but I didn't want to, I was quite happy with that. Now you'll see me make a great big mistake here, and I pulled off my tape just a little bit I was just a little bit too overexcited about pulling this, revealing my final image, and I ripped my cardstock. I'm going to sort that out, just simply by trimming. So I've taken all my masks off. This one is a little bit awkward to get off, so I'm going to use my scissors very carefully just to help me lift that mask away. I haven't damaged my cardstock doing this because I'm literally just getting the edge of that mask up. Because it's fully sticky, there isn't a kind of area where there's no sticky to grab hold of. So that's that mask up. And I can't remember if I give you a proper image, but you can see that there's a kind of damaged area of that card. So I'm going to take my white eraser and just get rid of the pencil line that is just ever so slightly still there. And I've got this, just showing you that boo-boo that I've made. And it's okay, and I'm just thinking here what I'm going to do, and then thought, well, actually, I'm going to trim it off. So I've got my card base, and I thought about doing nothing with it at all initially, and then it really bugged me. So I get my stamping trimmer out, and I'm going to trim off 0.5 centimetre off the damaged side, and that was enough. That was all that was damaged, and the top. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with my layer underneath, that basic grey layer, and it just means that there's a slightly bigger Island Indigo border around it, which actually I think works really, really well. I really like the final look of this card. So I'm going to stick that Whisper White layer directly onto that basic grey piece with some snail, and then I'm going to pop the rest of that final piece up onto the card with some dimensionals. As always, there are links in the down bar below to this exact project with all the measurements on, and I always make sure that all the measurements are all on the blog post so that you can make this card exactly. There's also links to all the products. Excuse me if I was going to sneeze. On my blog and in the down bar below, so please go and check out my blog. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again next time for some more card inspiration. Thanks for watching Stampin' by Hannah. See you next time. Bye for now.